This is the next one. Up till now, you've got your diabetes and your blood pressure is 160 over 100, and I turn around, oh, that's too high, that we need to bring it down. And you've got no idea about anybody else. So what we did was we actually took the QOF data for the practice, pulled out the stuff that's relevant to diabetes and said, how are we doing? Why is that? Well, actually, if we look down here, the percentage of patients with diabetes in whom the last blood pressure is 145 over 85 or less, and our figures for last year this was 77.3%. Now if your blood pressure is 160 over 100, then that actually puts you in the bottom 25%. And you now suddenly know that you're in the bottom 25%, not across the country, but in your own patient population. We've got a very challenging patient population, most of whom are social class 4 and 5. But even amongst that group, over 3/4 of them have got blood pressure that's less than 145/85. So I might say to the patient, why is that? And I can turn around and say, I'm delivering the same service to everybody. And the patient starts saying, oh, well, actually, doc, I keep forgetting to take the tablets. Or, actually, doc, I can't help it, there's McDonald's around the corner, and I keep going there. But what's really interesting is if you get them to start to understand where they are compared to the rest of the patient population, they're going to start taking ownership and they're going to start asking questions, the questions that we've been trying to get them to ask for the last 10, 15 years. I'm not saying all my patients are doing that, but you can start to see now how if you're providing information for them, they'll start to make links themselves and start to try and ask, how can I be on the winning team rather than be on the losing team? And then the final one is, well, actually, if the reason you can't take the tablets or whatever is because there's something about the way the service is being offered and you want to change it, well, why don't you join the patient participation group, explain the difficulties that you're having so that there's a formal process that you can have to start to influence the way the practice delivers its services. So the final step is join the PPG to improve the way we deliver diabetes care. Now, we've done that with all the with the other 7 conditions that I've talked about. I have no plans on doing one for every other condition. It's a framework. What I actually want is for patients to start thinking along those lines and start thinking about what's the condition, what does it mean for me, who's the team that's going to be supporting me, what's our practice doing, which members of the team do I need to do to get what, how am I doing compared to other patients with the same condition, and what do I need to change. And that's a framework that you can apply to anything. Okay. Let's just go on towards how am I informing people about access to records and what does it mean. We've got a whole section on this. Is record access for me? About record access. Background and information on record access. I've got videos on YouTube. So whilst the few people here who've been able to watch the video, watch me speak in person, if you wanted to go away and look at specific details and things, if you go to background and information and click on YouTube, you'll see a whole series of videos that you can watch that tells you about third-party data, harmful data, and things. I'll come back to that in a moment. What are the benefits and challenges? This is a page that a patient of mine wrote, and she's very simple. It's very non-NHS, but it's very helpful for patients. And on this side, we've got what the benefits of access to records are, and here we've got some of the challenges, and it's around things like forgotten history. I'll come back to the challenges in a moment. But bad news, what about abnormal test results? What about an X-ray that perhaps shows a shadow on the lungs? These are some of the potential challenges that we have. Notice I say challenges and not problems. That we also have to start to think about when we're enabling patients to access their records, and what will that mean? And is it okay or isn't it to do so? We've got an example health record. So if you've never looked at access to records before, then how are you going to be able to give consent for it? What we've done is we've put our test patient passwords onto the website so that patients can log in, in fact anyone can log in, put the passwords in and have a look, and I'll show you some of the slideshots of that. Keeping your information safe was something we put up about 2 months ago, and it's our practice's view on things like confidentiality and privacy and how we are safeguarding those things for you in a world where we're actually enabling patients to access their records. Because we've heard about these terms from everybody else, but we actually felt it was important that we as a practice describe what we think about it, how we're safeguarding it for you, but actually letting you as a patient determine what's right for you, whether you feel the safeguards are safe or not. Maintaining confidentiality, and that maintaining confidentiality is all about the passwords and how critically important it is that patients save those passwords in a place where nobody else can access them and things, and how you can create passwords that are less likely to be copied. We've got a section on self-care, which used to be over here on the right, and I suddenly realised that actually most of the people that are going to be looking at this website are patients who haven't got access to the doctor right in front of them, and they're actually saying, what can I do? So we've put a whole series of websites together, trusted websites that we've vouched for, that allows you, so instead of you doing a Google search and being sent off to Timbuktu and some 15-year-old has made a wacky, flashy website, to actually turning around and saying, well, go to these websites that we as a practice vouch for, and actually remember there's a picture of me on the front of that website. It's not faceless, unlike many Google websites. If there's anything that you read on this website, you're not happy with it, come back to the practice. That's what we're here for. The website doesn't replace what we're doing, it supports good quality care. That, by the way, is a big picture of me with a blood pressure machine in the waiting room, encouraging patients to check their own blood pressures and put the readings in. So it's not just about the IT, it's also about how you can do things in the practice itself. On the home page, we've got a section on the right that says videos that teach you more about how to get the best from the practice website. And we've got a video, 5-minute video there on the website. There's a video there on HealthSpace and how you can record your own blood pressures and things. The next one after that's on the map of medicine and how to use that. So I'm teaching you how to look at the map of medicine, what does it mean, how you can use it to help you. On the self-care section, this is the HealthSpace one, I've made a little video. That video actually shows how you can record your blood pressure that you've checked onto HealthSpace itself. And then you can print it out so that the next time you have a medication review or a blood pressure review with a doctor or nurse, you can actually bring your printout of blood pressures that you've taken at home or wherever it might be, so that that doctor or nurse can see 50 readings or 20 readings rather than just the one reading that they take on the day. Has anyone seen HealthSpace? Okay, well this is HealthSpace. You need to register, and once you've registered, you can actually book appointments through Choose and Book. Do you know how many people are using that feature across Greater Manchester to book their appointments online? What proportion? What percentage? Have a guess.
25%.
No, I don't go as far as that. It's 13% actually. And if you think about the thousands and thousands and thousands of referrals that are going through, the fact that 13% are using that feature, and that's simply because that little leaflet that you print out and give to the patient, it says you've got 3 choices and one of them is to go online and do it. It's a spectacular figure that's telling me that actually maybe 13% of all patients across Greater Manchester could well be accessing their medical records. If that's what they're doing to choose to book an appointment online, then it gives you some sort of potential for where we could go. You can record things on HealthSpace, health details like your blood pressure, your weight, blood sugars and things like that. I think I've got one here which shows the weight. You can put it in kilograms. If you're a stones and pounds person, you can put it in there and convert it. Put the date and time, and you can save it, and it'll automatically create graphs for you. So very, very helpful for someone who's overweight, who's trying to lose weight and has joined Weight Watchers and whatever. And again, all this is there's a little NHS logo. In other words, it's safe because the NHS has done it for you. Yeah, you can see the logo over there. You can put reminders in for appointments, and at the moment it'll send an email to you, and you can set it so it's a day before, 3 hours before, or half an hour before the appointment. It'll send you an email to say you've got an appointment. And that appointment could be for anything, not just a medical appointment. It could be for wherever you want to go. And there's events, and there's notes, and there's something else.